pleasures. Now there's been much pleasure. He who speaks last, stop hiding, Paul Hudson. He who speaks last speaks best. No, he doesn't. Today at school was quite unbelievable, and to all the staff and the kids that were with us today, they were absolutely brilliant. I was, and I meant the word that I said, I was overwhelmed with the whole day today. I feel very much the same tonight.
Turn one, mate.
I'm really intrigued with this. I'm going to read what it says. Just a small token to remember your big buddies. I didn't. I can talk about that at the moment. But look, can I just say, I'm overwhelmed again tonight, and I really did think a lot about what I was going to say tonight, and I hope that I will be as quick as I possibly can, because you people have been very patient. And I am putting my glasses on. I thank those people, Barb and Bill Stocky and Trevor and Terry and Barry Reading and Jeff and Kay and Pete for saying what they've said. Can I just make one comment that someone who sleeps as well as I do, it's a sign of having a clear conscience.
He said that for 40 years.
And he's still got a clear conscience. After 39 years, it would have been very easy to fade up into the sunset, but as you people who know me well, that's not my way. And all we've done tonight is just share with everybody, the people I've worked with, the people we've laughed with, we've rekindled old times, and I look at those things that keep popping up there and all that type of thing. That's what tonight's all about, and really and truly, from my point of view, the best part of tonight is you people being together, because you're all my friends, and we talked about all kinds of things. It's just been non-stop, and that to me is the most important. You will all know that I enjoy a party, and I've even been known at times to organise my own. But in this case, it's been completely out of my hands. And to the Ben-Hur committee, and I did nickname it Ben-Hur about a month ago, to Ben-Hur committee, to Kay Bagley, David Goulding, Pete Smith, Chris Newton, and Margaret and Mike Ford, I really do thank you, and I would ask everybody to join with me and say thank you. Really, in my teaching career, I've had a dream run. And I say this for many reasons. When I attended the Pioneer session at Alexander Mackie Teachers College,
Yay!
I envisaged finishing my teaching career in the year 2005 at the age of 65. But I haven't lasted that long. And it really did seem too far. It really did seem too far in the distance to worry about that kind of thing. Tonight, two of my college comrades and mates are here, and Ray Tramby, principal of Ellibana Public School, and Doug McLean, principal at Barrington, are here to enjoy the night. And I thank you gentlemen for coming. Both retire at the end of this year. And to Doug particularly, the times that you and I and Peter Emanuel and Jack, John, King and I spent together at the Senate Hostel in Castle Ray Street is something that I will never forget. Doug, you're going to have to help me here. How much did we get paid a month? It was £35 something. 31.
35. £35,
It wasn't very much, but let me assure you that those three people and I somehow survived, and we didn't eat very well. I can remember braised steak and onions. I can remember all those mouldy bits of bread and everything, but in all of that, we might have busted out car buckles on our necks, and I've still got those scars there. But we survived. Doug taught me how to have a quiet ale, and Doug himself was very meticulous in the way in which he spent his money. And he used to take £2 on Saturdays, and he used to go down to the races at Randwick. That was his day out. £2. He'd pay his tram fare, he'd have his few bets, and he'd come back home. Back home, Senate, it was Church of England something or other, I can't remember, but on one side of the place it had the Catholic Club. At the other side, I'll think about it in a minute, it was the Empire Hotel, which was a brothel. So quite honestly, we were in between there. We were young.
Always hungry.
we were very young. And I remember Doug and I once upon a time standing on the corner of Park Street and Elizabeth Street, which was a very renowned place for taxis pulling up. And we're standing there like two innocent country boys when this young lass came up to us, rather scantily dressed, and said, "Would you like a go?" Never seen two blokes go so quickly. But they were great times, and I think back at them and say we survived and we had a wonderful time together. And Ray and Doug particularly, I appreciate you being here tonight. And when you look back, you say, how many reasons are there why you have a dream run? And there are many. My auntie has left, Mum's sister, which I'm a little bit sad about, but she couldn't help. But my mother probably was, my mother Pat was probably the best person to get me started in a teaching career. She kind of had some inkling that I might get that way. She had a very immature, and I admit, a very immature son. But Doug, will you ever remember those beautiful legs of corned beef she used to cook up for us every Sunday night? I used to take down into the train, and with Peter and Jack and Doug and I would have beautiful bits of corned beef cut up on just ordinary bread. When we got our pay, we would splurge out sometimes, go down to Dixon Street, blow out at the Chinese places down there. But Mum was really a very gentle and a quiet person and had an incredible influence on me. An only child who says it doesn't work. Look at But in collusion with Herb King, which a number of speakers have mentioned tonight, when I wanted to give away teaching, when I was around 28 or 30, she and Herb got together and they decided that they'd talk me out of it, and they did it very well. So I would say that I was very fortunate in having such a wonderful mother as that, and she's had an incredible influence on me, and I'm sorry my own auntie's not here tonight, her sister, because she is one just wonderful lady who I think He's something like 75 or 76 and is just thinking about retirement. Incredible person. I would like to mention the influence of a few people on my whole career. The first person I would like to mention is a Mr. Harold Smith, headmaster, Basie Public School. I was there, appointed there in 1960, and Harold Smith, Pete's dad, could relate to me that it wasn't many years since he was signing on letters, "Your most obedient servant." I only spent a small time at Basie Public School. Barb has related some of that to you, but like she and I, he had an incredible influence on both of us. But to go in there and take over from Barbara on kinder first and second was quite a shock to the system. And when I went to live with Barbara and Tiny, I think Barbara did most of the program then. But I've always been one who could make wonderful programs, you know. And, shut up, lady. But to Harold Smith, he taught me the very basics that I never forgot. And the basics were little things like, don't put your hand on a girl, all of this type of thing. And I never forgot that. And because of Mr. Smith, I called him Mr. Smith's influence on me, I kind of got through without making any big blunders, particularly in the day and age today. It could have got me in big trouble. But those lessons that Harold taught, I've never forgotten. And have held me in good stead all of my career. The next person I would like to mention who has had an incredible influence, a legend principal in his own time, Herb King. I'd ask you to put your hand up if you have been influenced by this man. Under his guidance, all of us, and I tell you what, he was an incredible man. He ran East Maitland Primary School with 600 plus pupils. To me at the time it seemed with quite apparent ease. And he had a pretty bouncy lot there at the time, young bouncy lot. Chick Wickham, Trevor Black, Pete Smith.
Key to the front door.
Quiet fellas like George Payne. Carolyn Chalmers was there. You know, honestly, that man was an inspiration at the time that you never realised that he could get the best out of us without us probably realising it. And he was the kind of person who never tipped cold water on an idea you had. And when Blackie and I came up with this idea of camping and all those kind of things, Herb kind of went along with us and said, yeah, righto, we'll go along with that. And he came to Cranky Corner with us, and he wore a Davy Crockett hat and all those kind of things. I held him in respect, or call it what you like, that for the first 8 or 9 of my 14 years at East Maitland, I addressed him as Mr. King. I was never going to say Herb. He ran that school with a portable typewriter and a green exercise book. And in that green exercise book, he did the whole finances of the whole school. Jenny Smith came along as his first clerical assistant later and took some of that worry from him. But oh, how times have changed. I look at those Oasis machines chewing away every day and think of her with that portable typewriter and that green exercise book. He protected us and he guided us. And years later, he told me about an episode he had at school where this great big 17-stone guy bounced into the office and said, "Where's this Crockett bloke? I want to punch his face out." I never saw that fella. Merv would have quieted him down, talked a bit of sense, probably sent the bloke away with feeling really good. Gordon Palmer gave a magnificent eulogy at Herb's funeral. And as I have said, in collusion with my mother, he kept me in teaching. Herb King, the legend, I owe a great deal to. The next person I would like to mention specifically, he stood up here, he's as grey as I am, and his name is Bill Stockbridge. Stocky, you've been my mentor, you've helped me get promotion lists, you've advised me on my job directions, you've helped me purchase houses and land, and every now and again you and Nan's call in to Barrow just to make sure that I'm safe. But Bill is still an advisor and a friend to many of us that are here. I only have two stories to tell about Bill. He did make a mistake.
Don't worry.
He did make a mistake. The exact words that Nan said to me on that first time I took him perch fishing was that Nan said, "It is good for men to get away with men." When I brought him into the house at about 12 o'clock that night after being up at the Patterson pub, she kind of had her second thoughts about what the hell goes on down there at East Island. The other quick story, and there are a number of us who will relate to this, was that Bill and Dad were going to Japan, I think it was. It was a Christmas trip. We were sitting on the beach at Yagan, enjoying the sun. Some of us went in swimming, but a certain Stocky didn't go. So what we did was some people went up, got Stocky, and threw him down into the surf. Unfortunately, he lost his false teeth. We searched that sand in about 4 foot of water and foam and things, and we could not find those false teeth.
We were going to Japan 2 days later.
Bill and Nance went to Japan, I think, with that great help from their local dentist, but they never ever saw the ad that I put in the newspaper. Anybody catching a fish wearing a set of false teeth, please ring. And I put Bill's phone number in, but I should have kept that phone. Probably, Bill, you amaze me and all those people that are connected with you. You have such an incredible memory for people and places, but particularly people. And names, that's right, Nance. 70 plus years, young mister. I thank you for keeping you on track. But we made it. And apart from that, when I was busy, he didn't ask me for a program. The next person I would specifically like to mention is Trevor Black. Now, it's not coincidence, but these people have been up before you tonight. But where is he hiding on me?
You already spoke to him before.
Trevor, I'd just like to thank you for giving me a positive and realistic approach to teaching. An appreciation of what this game is all about. You showed me that it is worthwhile and a good job if you believe in kids. I could tell and retell many stories about the times we've had together. You mentioned a time of storms and things, but you didn't mention that time at the Mile Lakes when we had 40 or 30 tents flattened and we were all in a big 18 by 12, a National Parks Ranger, 30 parents, 70 kids, and the rain blew and all the rest of it. We went out and we re-pitched the tents and there was gear spread all over the place. And I had to sleep in the front of a vehicle. Wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered. I got up in the morning. I went to sleep with trouble. And I got up in the morning and I thought, this is a bloody disaster. Trevor walked up to me and he said, Lloyd, look around. And here were kids, looking after one another, lighting fires, sharing things, spoons, cutlery, and that was spread all over the countryside. He said, look at this. This is what it's all about. That influence, Trevor, that you've been on me, lasted me for the rest of my teaching time. And in my eyes, you stand very tall. And actually together, we did many things that were probably ahead of time. You've talked about the Hunter Reggie Camping Committee and things like that. But you once said that camping is a classroom without walls. And I've never forgotten that, and I think I even quoted it the other day. Trevor, thank you. You never turned me into a conservationist or a greedy, but I do appreciate nature, and I, thanks to you, have enjoyed to really do my job. The next person I would like to thank is that Barry Reading who spoke so fantastically a few moments ago and 12 months recently retired. Somewhere, Barry, there's been that connection, isn't there? East Maitland, Beresfield. Why, Barry, have you been a reason for that dream run? I think primarily because you tried to smooth the bloody rough edges off me. We had 5 wonderful years together, and tonight I'm sure you've made acquaintances with those people that you've known and they hold you in so much esteem. You got me there. I mean, that third list. How did we ever get that third list?
Money.
I'll never know. Programming was not my forte. And I spent weeks on it. Integrated units, all of those things that were just the in thing. And I took it into Barry, as my supervisor. I said, he said, leave it with me, I'll have a look at it overnight. I went in the next day and I said, how was it, mister? He said, sorry, I said, how was it, Barry? He said, oh, all right, I'll give you 3 out of 10. That was quite some inspection. That was probably the turning point when I realised the only way that I was going to get anywhere was to be myself. You taught me what principalship and a school leader was all about. Despite the things we did to you, the times that I let you down, I have really felt you've had an incredible influence on my career. just because on Black Friday, Jeff Askew and I snuck into your principal's toilet and filled the reservoir up with black paint. You didn't do a wee the whole bloody day. When Jeff and I came back on Monday morning and we walked past your office and you waved us in, we thought, oh, yeah, we're in strife now. But you had some Monday thing to talk about until Nancy Stone, the cleaner, burst through the door and said, Barry, every time I flush it goes black. Now you put up with us. I know at times I gave you a lot of headaches. I remember that Lloyd, Harris and Paul Hudson are with us and Chris Evans, that we aborted that camp at the Mile Lakes, and here we are in all that bad weather and things, and I never let you know what we're up to. I do apologise for that, and I think back to what hell time you must have been going through with parents at school when we had about 4 inches of rain in 2 days. But Barry, I thank you very much. You have had a great deal in getting me where I'm about to retire to today. The final person I would like to mention specifically is the DS. I'm sorry, District Superintendent. At present, District Superintendent of Port Macquarie. Frank Shaw, I only worked with you for 2 years, but you really did show me what the big picture was all about. To all of us that had the privilege to work with Frank, it was a true privilege. I have never met a person with such a knowledge of our system, with such incredible drive. Frank came to Beresford Public School, and for the first time, all of the classroom teachers had released for face-to-face. Because Frank went around and released every teacher across that school for at least an hour a year. An hour a week. I joke not. This man could teach anywhere from a kindergarten to year 12 in any subject except the specialist subject. Pat, I don't really know how you live with such a ball of energy. Just started. 2 stories I'll quickly mention about Frank. Hot afternoon, summer, flies, insects, the bass are going to be on up the Patterson. He always had that habit as we walked out the door, Frank, and say, now hold on, let's just go and talk about this for a couple of minutes. But I knew we were going to catch perch up the river that afternoon, and here's Frank wanting to bring us in for a couple of minutes, which would have ended up probably far more than that, and probably for the only time in my career I told a principal to, well, you know. I went fishing and I caught fish, Frank. The other occasion, which I have admitted to him, and Joe Bullard was sitting there, I have admitted to her, was fishing on Stockton Breakwater early one Sunday morning, and a westerly wind came up, and a westerly wind round Easter means the mullet are running and the jagging is on. Sid Bridge and I were there, and we went up that beach in Stockton, and those magnificent school of mullets were running, and if you have ever seen the migration of any animal, it's worth seeing. But those mullet were too much for us, and we jagged them. And we jagged them. It even got to the stage where the professionals were following us. The Sid and I went back home on Sunday afternoon, absolutely exhausted, and cleaned all our jag mullet. He said to me, I've got a flexi day tomorrow, Lloyd. I'm going jagging again on Monday. And I said to Margaret, I haven't had any sickies. Ring him up in the office and tell him I'm crook. Sid and I went up again. And we had an absolute ball. And we jagged these mullets, all kinds of things. And we got back and Monday at home and we cleaned all these mullets. Sid said to me, I'm going to take a sickie. Well, mate, I'm with you, but I didn't ring up again. So we went up on a Tuesday and we jagged that mullet again. And for anybody that's ever seen this process in action will know that it is extremely exhausting. I got home on Tuesday afternoon, and Sid and I cleaned those mullets. We kind of staggered into bed after a cold tea or two, and I went to school on Wednesday morning, and there wasn't one bone in my body and one muscle in my body that I could move in a proper fashion. And Frank met me at the front of the door in his normal, enthusiastic way and said, Lloyd, you don't look real good. You probably should have had another day off. The only thing I could say to Frank at the time was, Frank, I couldn't have stood it. Can I say, particularly to Frank, tonight I know you've talked with those wonderful people from Beresfield and staff that you've been with, but personally, I thank you for finally getting me there. To these people that I've mentioned and given special thanks to for giving me a dream run, I pay tribute to those people as being true educationists. It's obvious, I know why I've singled out these particular people. I can't mention everybody here tonight, but you're all very special to me. If somebody said to me, why else did you have a dream run? The obvious answer is facing nearly 2 years, relief teacher 6 months, East Maitland Primary School 14 years, Hamilton South 14 years, Beresfield Public School 7 years, Waters Bay 4 years, Beresfield Public School 9 years. Fancy spending 30 years of your teaching career, in particular in 2 wonderful schools. I couldn't have been more fortunate. They're all in the Hunter, and when in late 1990 that Mr. Gore, the staffing officer, rang me from Sydney and said, Mr. Crockett, are you interested in the principal's position at Beresfield Public School? And I said, yes, thank you, I'll take it. There was a moment's silence. And he said, Mr. Crockett, I have never had a principal accept a position so quickly. For me to escape that merit selection system and get the last year of lateral transfers and all that, I had to be blessed. Another reason I give you in why it's been a dream run, particularly as principal, I've worked with such fantastic executives. Trish Hilder's not here tonight, but you've heard Jeff Lynch speak. Jeff and I worked together for 4 years, not as principal and AP, but we worked together in partnership. He's mentioned a few things, like the way in which Steve Pern and he conned me into dressing up as a nun and being completely embarrassed when I walked into the Year 6 farewell and I was the only one dressed in fancy dress. But I would like to pay tribute to Jeff because he's had in many respects, and I will say this honestly, the rough end of the pineapple. When during a promotion inspection, a certain inspector came into my office, Waters Bay, and said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Crocker, that Mr. Lynch has not succeeded in gaining that list, and I don't lose the cool very often." And I took my shoes off in front of him, and I picked them up and I slammed them down on the table and I said, "That man can fill those shoes as a principal better than I can." He said, "I think I will go out of this school very quietly." And that he did. Jeff, I pay tribute to you in not just your work at Waters Bay, but your marching koalas work and all of those things. And I thoroughly enjoyed being a partnership in principalship with you. Beresfield, how could you miss when you've got people of the calibre of John Lattimore and John Gallagher and Carol the Chalmers? They make it so easy for us. Sorry for me. At present, with Marion Benson, Lou Blakemore, Rosemary Stevenson, and Kay Bagley, they make it a dream run. I would like to mention just quickly one person, but if you listen to those names that I've read through there, there's no weak links. They are absolutely fantastic executives. Kay Bagley and I have worked together since 1983, and it's a bit unnerving at times when we can kind of read each other's thoughts or mannerisms or all of that type of thing, that because of our time together we know one another and we can anticipate what's coming up next. I came back in 1990 after that offer from that staffing man, and I drove into Beresfield School and pulled up into the car park. Kay, having been working back, which is unusual, she came out and she said, "Lloyd, what are you doing here?" And I said, "I just kind of wanted to have a look at the old place." And she looked at me. She knew. She said, "Yes, it's true, you are." And I said, "Yes, mate." We danced in that car park. There's been many dances in that car park. Sorry about that, Bruce. I cannot pay tribute to this lady enough, except to say, Kay Bagley, in my opinion, you are simply the best. I was going to say, can I just say now, apart from those wonderful executives, for the people that I've worked with, my past and present staff, one of my high priorities, particularly as principal, was to support the staff. And as I spoke to them today, my present staff, I said, I hope I haven't let them down in this respect. I am being selfish. I think by supporting those people, they are the best resource that any school has. And if you can get a team on side, they can make things happen in a school. I've worked with so many wonderful and dedicated people who have certainly gone above and beyond the call of duty. And it's an understatement to say that teachers these days are dedicated, because they are far more than that. To my present staff, you're a great team and I'm really going to miss you. I would give special thanks to other staff that have worked with me at Waters Bay and Beresfield. To be in such great company, in a happy and a warm, supportive atmosphere is absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, if that bloody staff room gets untidy, Lord, we have had a blitz. We have had a blitz recently. You leave your cup around, you'll never know where you find it. And when you mail us, tilting is no excuse. I would say that the office staff, and I'm saying especially here to Joe and Di and also Margaret Moore, I think that the way in which you people have coped with all of those changes has been absolutely magnificent. And I've said to you on many occasions, if we ever got together again, we could certainly start up a printing business, because by gee, the quality of stuff that comes out of that office is fantastic. I would also like to thank John Miles, our General Assistant. John is a GA extraordinaire. Not a lot of people realise what Beresfield Public School owes him. In all of those changes and dramatic things we've done over the years, like one site consolidation, our hall, our removal of buildings, you name it. John has been there next to me. He's come up with the idea, or one of my way ideas. He's gone home and thought about it on the night. Come to me the next day and said, well, this is the way we can do it. So, John, I can't find you, and my personal thanks. You've been a fantastic mate. While I'm here talking about mates and things, I would like to thank my fellow principals for coming along tonight, Brian and Chris and John, and I won't name everybody, there's somebody near the back called Bird. I apologise to the principals for the way in which I behaved at principals' conferences. I can't help it if the bloody thing at 5-star Terricals trees don't fit the door properly. Peter Lombard, you're wrong. Bazaar is the lowest cards in Bazaar.
Yeah.
And then recently at the Roach Racket Resort Conference, when we had our wonderful lights here, and it was a Stuart House raffle, and they had all these basketballs and footballs and wonderful things donated. I just happened to go out into the conference room where they were all laid out. I thought, what? I'm not going to let this go by, so I went back to the room, got a red texter, and all the basketballs and footballs and all that kind of thing. Suddenly found written on the Beresfield Public School. And there were some pretty embarrassed principals when they picked the ball up and won the prize and we're going to take them back to school. They all come from Beresfield Public School. From 1991, I learned very quickly that there's a third side of a triangle, that you have your staff, your students, but you also have your parents and community. And that third side is very essential to make a school successful. Maybe I was destined to become a Barrow person because I did my first practice teaching down there with Don Petherbridge during college times. I look around tonight to you people and I can count more than 30 parents and ex-parents and community members from Barrow tonight. I'm sure Frank and Barry would agree with me in saying what a wonderful supportive. She's nearly talking. What a wonderful supportive community we have at Beresford. I think it took people like Paul and Judy Hudson and Larry Bradford and Tom and all those people to teach me, although I used to lecture against it, not to take parents camping, they taught me very quickly that it was absolutely essential. And what we've achieved in time since then, I think of Katoomba and Upper Allen and Mile Lakes and Riverwood Downs and Sandbar and Sydney and Jimmy's Beach and all those things. To the parents that have been away with me and the parents that have supported us, you have a wonderful community at Beresfield, and there's a particular man who's not with us here tonight called Eddie Weeks. And Eddie is a Barrow person through and through and has helped so many of our children and so many of our teachers in going away. As you know, Margaret and I are going to sell the place at Bulwarra and we bought a place at Green Hills. Maybe I can become part of the wonderful Beresfield community. Anyone know where there's any land for sale? I said to the students and the kids today, and I don't think I could have think of anything better to say. I know it's not possible, but if it were, Beresfield Public School would be a great place for my granddaughters to go. I don't want to dwell on things such as the Hunter Region Camping Committee and schoolboys cricket, schoolboys rugby league, except to say that it was those outside interests that really kept us going. When you look at the way I love sport and all the rest of it, somehow the budgie mob of getting me back involved in golf again. You never know. Me, I might win more scooters off this year. I remember and thank Alan Wickett for his help when, as the cricket started to grow, 4 teams went to 6, in the Saturday morning cricket to 8, 10, and Alan came in and said, right, well, I better do the bloody recording for you, I suppose. And then it just grew and grew. Finished right. I still, though, at the same time, and I say this very carefully, I miss my fishing mate of 45 years, Sid, Bevan Bridge. And if he were here tonight with us, he would have thoroughly enjoyed your company. To finish with, just about, ring the bell. Other reason I think is laughter, and I'd just like to quote a motivator, guest speaker, Bob Higgins, who's spoken at many principals conferences. The intentional use of fun and play is the easiest way to create an enthusiastic work environment, where the employees are excited and happy about coming to work, a place where customers and clients can feel that everybody is happy to be there. Laughter and play on the job and at home can create a culture of caring and connection in a workplace. And this is just so important in the people business. Laughter and play on the job causes us to be more human. More human with people and the people we work with. When two people share a laugh or some fun together, there is a certain bonding that occurs. Laughter and play are common, and are a common language that we all share. I couldn't put that any better, and I couldn't agree more. My third son said to my wife only a week or so ago, why is it Dad brings the idiot out of people? Third son wasn't, or the second son. It's an emergency.
Yeah, well, I've got just the...
I got a good brother-in-law.
There's a bit of red, wasn't it, Smithy? There's a bit of red. Come on, mate. Come on, hey.
Laughter is certainly the best medicine. And I'll always remember that gutter area in the staff room and those late night staff meetings when we were away at camp. At those times, like I nearly did just then, when I nearly completely lost it. There was one person in this room who epitomises Bob Hinton's philosophy. Her name is Jude Evans. She is the most positive person I've ever met. And with those two cohorts, Chris Newton and Di Lewin, you've given me heaps in the trips we've had away, and I've really loved it. Tied to this kind of thing is that old Aussie trait of giving people nicknames and favourite sayings and acronyms. Frank, sure you are a DS. I told Terry Maguire he didn't last and he needed to have a double DS. Somebody once said, and named well, they said GAGF. There was even a basketball team named after it. TTFN. You turn around sometimes and I say to the kids, don't forget to remind yourself not to forget to remember. They kind of look at me and say, hold on, I better sort that out. But it also works with the staff. Or you say to the kids, line up, I want you in order of height alphabetically. Isn't life about laughter? I walked into our office about 6 or so weeks ago. Joe Bull and Di Lewin were just absolutely lost it. Absolutely lost it. And I finally, after about 5 minutes, could get some sense out of them. They were proofreading some typing, and it was about a particular topic for a debate that Year 6 were involved in, and the topic of the debate was, the pen is greater than the sword. One of them had missed the space bar between pen and is. Fun and laughter have been an essential part of my life and a real reason for that dream run. I've had my friends, second only my family, and tonight I'm surrounded by friends, but I'd particularly like to thank my close friends. You're a big reason for making it the way it's been, and I thank you for putting up with many of my idiosyncrasies, and there are many. There were a couple of times when sometimes I've let you down. I remember during the stress of the early days at Waters Bay when I got into that unpleasant groove of stirring and